this is just a test. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe it's something more. Maybe it's our usual weekly shenanigans, ladies and gents, of the PokePod World Podcast. And, folks, we are going to be having ourselves a fan-friggin-tastic night tonight, as we're going to be doing our best to talk about a lot of things that are going to be happening from this past week, and, of course, leading into our last PokePod session of 2021. This isn't the last one, of course. We have one more session, which will be on the following Monday. So just giving you a heads up on that. And we'll be taking a nice little cute break in between that time as well for the PokePod. But hey, until that moment comes, we'll give you guys more information in regards to that when it arrives. But do not worry, though. We have a lot of stuff to talk about for tonight. We have a lot of stuff to talk about throughout the week. And without further ado, let's get right into it, ladies and gents. So, once again, one and all, my name is KG Prestige. I hope you guys are all excited for tonight's session. And I am very much excited, myself personally, for just getting back into doing this again. I don't know why. I felt like for some reason I wasn't streaming that long ago. Although I know we streamed on Friday, but in my head, I felt like I haven't streamed in like a month or something. I don't know. I'm going to be real with you. I legitimately have no idea why I felt like I haven't streamed for over a month at this point. But yet, here we are. We streamed like a little while ago. But let's see what's going on here. I say, hey, what's going on? I say, hey. Oh, man. It's a dang January 3rd hiatus rip. Probably. We'll probably see where things go for that. So, chat, how you guys all doing? Say hello to me in the chat to make sure that actually is running all okie dokie and I can continue on with our shenanigans. Finally made it to one of those podcast sessions. Jesus Christ, it took you till now to do it. Oh, man. Hey, buddy.
You doing?
Good. How about you?
Cold like everybody else.
Oh, good God, I know what you mean, man. Ugh.
Yay.
It's freezing out here in NYC. And of course everywhere else, wherever it is freezing. But boy, god damn it, man. I wish this cold could be accompanied by some cute white fluffy snow. And unfortunately we're getting none of it.
Well, no you don't, because then that means you have to walk like 20 minutes in it.
At least it's a walk. I prefer having something to go alongside with this goddamn cold than nothing at all. At least that's just my mindset.
You don't want snow, because then it becomes black ice.
It depends on what kind of snow is that, though. Like,
well, it doesn't matter, because regardless of what happens, you're gonna end up, even if it gets above freezing during the day, at nighttime you're gonna get fucking black ice, or you're gonna get regular ice. Then what ends up happening is you're either gonna fucking hit your knee on a fucking piece of ice, or you're gonna fucking fall on your ass. And that's why you don't want snow.
I'm gonna be like that character from like Scooby-Doo, where I'm trying to like run away from the snow, but I'm still in place, just running in place. I don't know if you've seen that video. That video is hilarious. I love that. TSS is a snow hater confirmed, lol. No, he's a
snow, no, snow is cool unless you had to walk in it.
I can agree to that. Unless if it's of course to go outside for a snow fight.
It's nice. Yeah, or when it's like, or the one time a few years ago where freaking De Blasio decided not to freaking send anybody, and we had like 26 inches of snow and we didn't get our freaking street clean for like fucking 4 days.
Oh man, that was a good time though for me personally. I didn't have to go to work for that day. Well, only for me personally. Listen, sometimes having a bit of a work break is perfectly fine here and there, and that's just how it felt like for me. So I was just letting everybody know what it is we're going to be talking about for this week. Of course, if you see the title of the video, you might already get the idea that we'll have one major topic to talk about before tonight's review of the week. Of course, we'll probably wait for somebody else to also join us soon as well, because I know he'll also wish to go and discuss it. And we'll save it until that. But we do have other small topics and big topics, depending on how we approach them, because sometimes they could seem big, and then in reality, it's actually just a small ass update. So let's get right into the discussions for some of the gaming stuff that has occurred within this past week.
Yes.
For starters, of course, let's go talk a little bit about Pokemon Masters EX. Apparently, there is going to be a repeat event that's going to be happening in there titled Deck the Halls, which is supposed to be featuring a story of Erica and Skyla helping out the holidays in the Paseo region. So if you guys haven't had a chance to experience that story, it's going to be returning on December 22nd of 2021. So look forward to that. For fans of Pokemon Unite, the Dragonite Pokemon is finally available to purchase in the game store. There is also going to be some holoware available for it, as well as some other mons too, such as one for Cook style Snorlax and a holiday style outfit for Dragonite, Blastoise, Garchomp, Gardevoir, and Mamoswine, which all cost 400 gems each. Now, I haven't touched that game since it launched. I don't know why I still have it in my Switch, to be honest. But as long as people are enjoying it, I guess that's what matters the most. Just be very careful with how you spend your money, folks. That's all.
Yeah, well, it's doing the same thing as freaking Pokemon Pokken Tournament is, just sitting on my Switch.
God, but at least that one was a permanent purchase. We don't have to buy any
Yeah,
add-ons
fair enough.
except for the
Yeah,
DLC.
yeah, exactly. But at least the base game is there, and at least I'll be able to download it. Right now, I would also like to talk about, since I wasn't here last week, we're going to talk about the new PS4 jailbreak that recently came out on literally last week. It is on firmware 9.00. So apparently, if you an exploit was found where if you have a specially made exFAT USB stick, you can jailbreak the PS4 because there was a bug in the file system that allows for kernel access. Now, the thing is, this was already patched out in 9.03, which came out on December 1st. So, but to have a exploit come out for such a high firmware and to have it as stable as it is now, which all you have to do is just point a web browser to a site, load the exploit, insert the USB key, and then you could load pretty much any payload you want. That means you probably notice that if you hang around like the certain websites, you've seen a lot of games being dumped recently because before this, the most stable jailbreak that we had was probably 6.72, because 702 and 755 were not that really stable. 5.05 was the gold standard, but 6.72 was pretty stable as well. But now that we have 9.00, that means we're going to see a lot more games, a lot more content, and hopefully, and a lot more eligible systems, because since 9.03 came out in December 1st, that means any PS4 that was either manufactured or if you haven't turned on your PS4 since December 1st, they are vulnerable. So give it a shot. Homebrew and other stuff on PS4 is great. MVG did a video, but also Mr. Mario 2011 and Modded Warfare as well. So if you haven't put on your PS4 since December 1st, you will have an exploitable PS4 and have fun with it. There's tons of documentation, and enjoy your jailbreaking.
Wait, like if I turned on my PS4 to just blow up, just boom.
That depends if you do it badly, of course.
Well, actually, the only thing is, and
Is it just gonna go? Is it just gonna go beep, Maria?
Well, no, it's more like if you leave. However, though, you shall be cautioned. Though, is that if you leave that exploited exploited USB stick in your system while it's in operation and you restart, you could corrupt your kernel. It's a I don't know why the fuck people decide to fucking try to call me on Discord when I'm on a freaking podcast, but besides that, what usually happens is you're gonna get a prompt. It'll show you to insert the USB stick, and once you press OK, and once the payload loads, you just take it out, and then you're fine. But yes, definitely give it a shot. Homebrew scene on PS4 is about to get more lively now. So I can't wait until I see more of the homebrew that comes out of it, as well as other things. So if you haven't done so already, give it a shot. Homebrew on PS4 9.00 exploit. Should give it a shot at least once. And plus, you could just get a small USB flash drive for like $5, and you could flash it and be happy.
Huh,
So,
neat.
yay. So that's why I updated mine from 6.72 to 9.00. Because now I don't have to worry about people backporting games and things.
I see. Well, first of all, Taran, hello, buddy.
What up?
How's everything been for you, pal?
It's good.
All right, sweet. Obviously, as you guys already know, and I forgot to mention this at the start, but given that we're not going to have another podcast until the Monday coming up anyway, and Christmas is like, I think, between Friday and Saturday, I thought it'd be nice to wish you all a happy holidays and, of course, a Merry Christmas. So, be on the festive side,
Happy
ladies and
Christmas,
gents.
Kwanzaa to you.
Yeah, whatever he said.
So I'm gonna say a very obscure reference, but fuck it. Here goes the shot. There's this one really, really terribly animated movie called The Backlot's Christmas or whatever, where like it's like horribly animated. Like this shit looks like if someone took a Windows Paint drawing and just brought them all to life. Well, one of the characters in there, her name is Grandma. Yes, that's her name. And she speaks in like this old muffle. Like imagine Boomhauer, but unable to even less comprehensible. And one of the kids goes, "Isn't that Christmas is how we all come together? Isn't that right, Grandma?" And she goes, Christmas. And that's it. That's the only thing she fucking says. And I love it. It's the funniest shit on the planet to me. I lose my goddamn mind every time I see it.
My favorite one will always be Kirby Miss, where Mexican Kirby just comes out of nowhere and starts shaking his ass on the ground while Feliz Navidad plays in the background. That will always be my favorite.
No, my favorite Christmas special in the recent past is the one that from the PJs, because they took the Mr. Grinch song and then they made it they put like lyrics like "You're a biatch, Mr. Stubbs. You really are a tom.
You are a
stole your
biatch."
friend's." Yes, you're a biatch, Mr. Stubbs. You
I think
really
it's the
are a tom.
biatch part.
You stole your friend's possessions to buy a CD-ROM, Mr. Stubbs.
You're a biatch.
Mr. Stubbs. Yeah.
It's the biatch part. I'm sorry.
Yes. So PJ's Christmas special. I remember that aired in like 99, I think. Still, that song, never forget it. Never could forget it. It's really fucking good.
Speaking
very
about
fun
that,
because basically Mr. Stubbs turned into a fucking repo man for Christmas.
my favorite, if we're talking about Christmas ones of specials in general, oh God, Grandma got run over by a reindeer will always be a classic for me.
That's always gonna
That's gonna be the classic, man.
Well, to me, it's not even so much that. It's the song.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
That one. Not that one.
Oh, are you talking about suing the pets off of Santa?
Then we have another one.
Sorry, it's not Backlot. It's Rap City. Sorry, Rap City Street Kids Christmas. That's the one.
Then the other one is like Olive the Other Reindeer, because it's a play on all of the other reindeer.
God, I haven't seen that one in forever, but I remember it wholeheartedly.
20 years has been the last time I've seen that one. Yeah,
I feel like there should be something special for that one, man.
Like, I don't know how a song so bad haunts me to this day. I think it's when like the lazy woman in the back is singing in Spanish. So they're like, Grandpa's gonna sew the pants off for Santa, cause that's what Grandma wanted too. No pantalon nights. like just this lazy no pantalon.
And then she tries to do like a Mexican scream in the background.
Yeah,
Like,
and then they're like, Santa's going for a ride, vámonos. And I'm just like, oh God.
Yeah, of course, Charlie Brown Christmas. It's like
KG still hasn't watched that yet.
The funny thing is, Charlie Brown Christmas should be 65, like 55. Yeah, 55 years since Charlie Brown Christmas, because I think it came out in 66. I think. 1966? Let me see.
No idea,
Charlie
buddy.
Brown.
But yeah, what Tyrone said, I haven't seen that, so I can't relate to Charlie
So
Brown
the
Christmas.
law is on his side.
1965, so 66 years, 56 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
Because the law is on his side. No, on his side. like that's how. Like God, it's the voice in the back. That's when that whole part makes the song. And I'm like, God damn it!
It's never the front vocal, it's always the back ones.
Well, the front is just them singing together. Like the I believe that's the mother and the aunt, and they're just jamming to the song. And oh no, this. Who asked for this? Is this the villain song? Is this what this is supposed to be for this? You know how like every Disney movie has a villain song? Was this supposed to be the villain song? Is Grandpa's gonna sue the pants off of Santa? Is that how far we've come?
Yes.
Yes.
and they have never peaked since that moment.
I was like, oh no. But yeah, it's
Bad
always
Santa.
yeah, it's always fun to go in and look at like the old corny, like just the cornballiest ass Christmas shit you can possibly think of.
And watch them somehow
Father Christmas.
succeed.
Yeah, like watching Futurama's Christmas episodes. Those are
Polar,
always fucking
Polar
hilarious.
Express, which actually aired the other day, and it was like,
I like the one where Leela is like Santa Claus is evil in Futurama. I want you guys to know that first, because he got malfunction. He was a robot that was meant to deliver presents, but he was malfunctioned, so he ends up just killing everybody on fucking Christmas. Like that's his whole goal, is to just fucking kill everybody.
You know what's funny, actually? Tonight, I don't know what it was, but probably was ABC. ABC made this, like, fake documentary news program about Santa Claus, like, tonight.
What?
And I saw bits and pieces of it, and they were going all ham about it. They were going behind the scenes, like Santa's gone corporate, and the inside of Santa's sleigh is bigger than it is on the outside, and it's like the FAA requires front lights, so that's why Rudolph has a fucking red nose. You know, it's the shit like that. It was so well done, like a fucking real documentary, like a real ABC News documentary. It was so fucking good. Problem is, I don't remember what the fuck it's called now.
I was just about to say, TSS, send a link to that. That sounds fucking hilarious.
I know. I have to find it.
Oh, TSS. You know you got to remember Weird Al's The Night Santa Went Crazy, because I listen to that every fucking year.
Actually, that was actually after I stopped listening to a lot of Weird Al stuff.
Okay. I'll send you the link. You'll love the song. It's
because
Weird Al's
I dropped off of Weird Al for the most part after Running with Scissors.
So, yeah, pretty much the plot of the song is that Santa went crazy, so he starts killing everybody at the North Pole, and I can send you the link to the song. It's funny as fuck. I listen to it every year. But yeah, I'm reading some of the chat's other Christmas traditions while you're going through that.
Okay, Polly says I'm Tom Hanks conductor from the Polar Express. No, I would probably be more like maybe Mr. Conductor from Thomas and the Magic Railroad.
First of all, that's a great movie. Yeah, but it made me just chuckle because I didn't think Thomas
before Alec Baldwin decided to kill someone.
I like the Powerpuff Girls Christmas episode where my favorite villain in Powerpuff Girls, Princess Morbucks, I love her. She ends up getting superpowers. She ends up getting powers like the Powerpuff Girls. And the Powerpuff Girls end up going off to go sell Santa. But Morbucks doesn't want any of that, so they end up fighting. And it's literally a fight across the entire fucking planet. Like, literally, they zoom all the way around the planet and do, like, a Dragon Ball Z style, like, them fighting across the planet. It's so fucking great. I love it. And then, obviously, she made it so that everybody... She basically rewrote Santa's list so every kid is on the naughty list except her.
Good God.
So everybody gets screwed over, pretty much.
That's horrible. Why would somebody do something like that?
It's Princess Morbuck. She's spoiled as fuck.
True, but still.
Yeah, I love Princess Morbuck. She's my favorite villain. She's great.
Yeah.
She's just a spoiled brat. That's literally all she is. Like, there's nothing particularly special about her. She's just a spoiled fucking kid.
God. I'm starting to remember about another special. It's the winter special. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because I just started recently watching it. I was marathoning like all the seasons recently of South Park. So they had one they called the winter special, which is just straight up them trying to figure out what they could do for Christmas Day or just during the winter time. And for some reason they banned beer and alcohol that time. So they were trying.
Fuck?
Yeah, so they were trying to figure out, oh shit, we need an alternative. And somehow the episode ends up with Jesus summoning crack as snow just falling from the skies above,
Okay.
and everybody was just celebrating that during that day of Christmas.
Okay. All right. So the answer, so to answer that, it was on Fox, regular Fox, and the special is called "The Secrets of Christmas Revealed."
Sounds horrifying.
Yes. Exposing earth-shattering revelations of how Santa Claus pulls off the most magical day of the year after a massive data breach results in the release of millions of secret documents.
The fuck?
What?
What?
Revealing the confidential inner workings and mysteries of Santa's entire Christmas operation, from his hidden network of spying elves to Mrs. Claus' covert role in the organization and evidence pointing to Santa's own magical abilities. It's like, you see, this is the quality content that Fox produces during the Christmas time. Holy shit!
Holy shit! Where do we go to this? How dare they dox Santa Claus?
Holy shit!
Holy
Going back
shit.
to that Futurama one, I love how, like, since Santa's evil and he puts everyone on the naughty list, they actually showed him judging some of the people one day. And he goes, people robbing grandmother of her money, naughty. Grandmother refusing to give them the money, equally as naughty. Like, what the fuck? So stupid.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not evil, we're not naughty. Check your list. I've already checked my list. Well, check it twice. I checked 16 milligrams per second. I'm always checking twice. And it's like, look at his belly. It's jiggling like a bowl of nitroglycerin because he's gonna explode.
God, these specials are some shit.
So fucking stupid. I
Amar
love.
says this is some shit you read in the Onion.
Exactly. It was. I mean, yeah. It is literally like the Onion. Like if it was like a real. It was basically like a real news special. It was real, like a documentary. I mean, it was really cool.
Nice.
That's fucking that is something that you got to watch. I'm pretty sure it'll be on demand somewhere on Fox. So.
I can't believe we're telling people to go Fox News now or Fox Channel.
Go to Fox News.
But Fox is different than Fox News.
Hey, what's that tweet you got going on there, Donnie? Hold on, let me see this real quick.
Because they're both Murdoch, but at least one you could actually believe in, and the other one you don't. But actually, you shouldn't believe in any of them. It's just that entertainment.
No one is safe. Get ready for the Secrets of Christmas revealed tonight at 8/7 on Fox. Damn it, we missed it.
Exactly.
Oh man. Well, that's wait, was that Melissa? What? Melissa Rivers? What the heck is this special here?
I told you. Yeah, I told you. It's so fucking far-fetched.
Oh shit! They even have like all pixelated Santa in the background, like they censored his face.
R11 and shit. Like,
Jesus Christ!
My God.
Oh,
that is. I mean, it is so out there. It's like one of the best things that I've seen.
Love this. Oh man.
I remember how many Christmas episodes that Pokemon themselves have, because I know there's one in particular I'm thinking of.
Is it the band one?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the Jinx one, which weirdly enough, I have a VHS of that episode. I'm not sure why I have that one in particular, but I have it. And it's before Jinx is recolored too, so I think I have a very rare copy of Black Jinx.
Well, here's the funny thing, right? The Black Jinx is only on like Hulu and Amazon, I believe. Mm-hmm. The kids station re-air still have the original Jinx. Actually,
Yes.
early copies of that they do have, but I think the later re-airings post 2015, they probably do have they do have the recolor. I have to double check the
Yeah,
caps.
they don't really, and like I'm not talking about specials, by the way. So yeah, I think Omnitrix nailed it. They only had 2 Christmas episodes in Kanto, and then they had the X and Y episode, which was pretty much Christmas. They didn't call it Christmas, but it was Christmas. They had
Well,
their own
yeah, it was
Christmas
holiday. Yeah, it
episode.
was the holiday one.
It
Yeah,
was a holiday one, yes.
yeah.
Which is it's Christmas. It's fucking Christmas. It's the Hallmark episode that almost destroyed
Well, then
the
again,
internet.
I mean, it's following the trends of Japan. Like
Yeah.
Halloween has become more commercialized in Japan in the last 15 years.
Yeah, and actually, I believe X and Y had a Halloween episode too. They didn't call it straight up Halloween, but they had a Halloween episode. I
Yeah.
don't know why X and Y did that a lot, where they had a holiday episode, but they never called it the holiday that it
Well,
was.
because because it's.
I guess to keep it fairly generic, so that it doesn't like mess up any actual traditions.
Yeah, Yokai
Yeah.
Watch actually had like legitimate like holidays that they mentioned, including like April Fool's Day. And
El
shit.
Shabbat, Serena.
Shabbat Shalom, motherfucker.
Shabbat Shalom, Serena.
That's crazy shit.
Oh no. But yeah, so yeah, and I'm trying to think of were there any other animes that wound up just straight up doing I know most recently My Hero Academia had a Christmas episode, if I'm not mistaken. It was in the last season, the season that literally just happened, KG. I think you might know.
Which one from?
The My Hero Academia had a Christmas episode not so long ago.
Was that about the zombie infection?
What? No, what? The one where like they have Christmas. It's literally like they all are done doing their internships.
Oh, the episode with Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zombie.
Honestly, I didn't remember much of the recent episodes of MHA.
Well, Osamatsu-san also had Christmas stuff, so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my senpai's annoying also had one as well.
Yeah.
Sakurai Best. Just saying right now. If you haven't seen that anime, go give it a shot. You'll love it, I think. It's a nice, wholesome slice of life / comedy series. So, the zombie was like season 3. Jesus Christ, my head's all over the place. See, in the Marvel comics, Santa is indeed a mutant. No joke. What the fuck?
Yes, he is. No, that's real.
Damn, I didn't realize that's how they worked in the MC.
Yeah. It's a real thing.
Nice. Speaking about Marvel, I thought that would be a nice little transition. I don't think we have anything else to talk about regarding Christmas stuff that I can think off the top of my head.
I'm still going to be doing a Christmas stream.
Ah, nice.
I want to do one too. I just don't know what the fuck to do.
I have
have an
something
idea.
planned for Thursday, which isn't anywhere near Christmas Eve nor Christmas. So, we'll call that the Christmas time. But you guys can look forward to it at least.
Thursday. Wait, you're saying the 23rd?
Yes.
Oh, that's Christmas Adam. Yeah.
Wait, that's really a thing?
Well,
No.
some people make the joke about it, but the joke happens so much.
Oh,
It's almost
Adam and
unofficial.
Eve. Jesus
Yes.
God,
There you go.
how-
There you go. Because Adam came first. So it's Christmas Adam and Christmas Eve. So yeah, people make it the joke. People make the joke enough. So yeah, I'll join you for Christmas Adam.
All right. Well, I mean, we did plan that we were going to do something for Minecraft on Thursday. I did have something in mind for it, but like I mentioned before, I need to go and grab me the files to make it work on the server. So stay tuned for that chat as well. We're going to have a fun time with this one if it goes successfully. All right, he came first. He said, "Hello." What about the watch party on Friday? Of course, we'll have a watch party on Friday
Also-
for the latest episode because
On Christmas, yeah, on Christmas Eve.
The one more thing before you get into the MCU stuff. So Rika Matsumoto and Azumi Inoue actually tried a new thing that's out in Matsuya, which is like a hamburger steak patty, that hamburger steak meal set that's like 9-to-1 beef to pork. It's like black Wagyu and black pork. And in that particular like segment, Rika makes an interesting hand gesture, and of course, we know what Rika does because Satoshi, and I tweeted about it, and I said, and in my tweet I said, and you're gonna find it if you could put up the pictures, KG. my tweet was, "It's nice when life imitates art." And
Oh,
if you
I think
take
I know what
those
you mean.
two, and if you take those two screens and put them together, then you'll understand what I mean.
Let me try to see if I could get this open up for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Hold on just a second. Here we go. Just gonna have it opened up nicely here. So, in the meantime, though, let me see if there's anything else that needs to be brought up. Okay, let's just transition. There we go. Poof.
Can I buy some time while you're doing that?
Sure.
I made a
Yeah,
Facebook
make it.
post.
Yeah, so make it full.
Here's
So-
the original right here of the ash pick,
Oh, I
and
saw
then
your
of course,
business. I saw all your business.
and then we got that right there on the side.
Yeah.
Truly is beautiful. Just checking. Has everyone seen No Way Home on this chat? Don't worry. You don't have to say anything because if you haven't seen No Way Home, that means either A, you're not interested in the film, and I totally understand that. And B, if you really were interested in the film, you would have already goddamn watched the goddamn film at this point. So
Oh,
you
hold on.
What?
Whoa, hold on. Some people, because I'm
no,
only
that means
bringing
you
this up.
failed as a Spider-Man
Oh,
fan.
whoa, hold
Yeah,
up.
you know,
'Cause
no,
I
it's
only-
okay. You failed
only
as a
saw
Spidey
this.
fan.
Wait, KG, just let me talk, damn it. I saw this on my stream yesterday, so I gotta bring it up. Some people said that they don't trust the movie theaters because of the Backstreet Boys, which, okay, but at the same time, obviously protection measures have been taken to ensure that Backstreet Boys shouldn't be a huge issue. But I get it, all right? Some people are just paranoid. So for the 10% that are paranoid, we get it. But at this point, the movie's been out. The weekend came out, the opening weekend. So we'll do like a spoiler mode.
Yeah, we're gonna put in the spoiler mode, of course, whenever we do get into that discussion. Not yet, though, of course.
Yeah.
Hold on. Somebody says some of us have work. Yeah, I had work too, and guess what I did? I told my boss I'm gonna watch Spider-Man: No Way Home, and he said okay, and I had the day off that day. So I mean, if I could do that, then you're capable of doing.
About you. They made a Twitter picture about you. You know that, right? It's the picture where Spider-Man's in the costume and he's talking to Zendaya, and Zendaya's looking back. And it's like me explaining to my boss why I need to take off work to watch Spider-Man. And then the Zendaya looking in the back goes, my boss.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize that was big.
Yeah, they made that picture. I'll find it for you. But yeah, that's pretty much the deal.
A
But,
perfect description of what I have to say, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, man. So, first of all, TSS, I want to give you a heads up. Of course, we'll be talking about the film. I know, as you stated before, and in past discussions,
they give exactly negative 7,000 fucks about MCU. So great.
Yeah, exactly. But I just wanted to let you know. I'm pretty sure this
Of
will
course.
just be a nice little brief moment, and then we'll, of course, get into the anime discussion. So,
Yeah.
I hope you understand on that part, buddy. And apologies about that. But, Tyrone, then, what do you say, buddy? We get right into it, then. Of course, I'm going to give everybody a heads up when, of course, I transition to this. Let's go and do that right now, actually, so I can get this set up. So, obviously, ladies and gents, we are going to be talking about Spider-Man No. And, of course, with that being said, spoiler is going to be involved in this because, as I tell you right here and now, this is a very difficult film to kind of talk about when you're trying to avoid as much of, well, the spoiler content that's included in this, given that you want to reference it because of how they handled the trailers and you want to really, bring it up. But if I can't talk about the spoilers, then I mean, it's impossible. You know what I mean, Tyrone?
I told you, like, people will ask me and they'll be like, what did you think of the movie? And all I can say is, it's a good movie. If I want to avoid spoilers, I have to be as vague as possible because this movie pretty much lives, breathes, and survives on spoilers.
Yes.
Trailers made sure, indefinite, to not do anything to ensure that any of the movie got leaked out more than it needed to. Every shot that we see in a trailer is generic enough to be put in any Marvel situation. And you could universally accept it. Oh, that's Spider-Man doing Spider-Man shit. Oh, that's Doctor Strange moving trains and shit around. The tie-in is that you see Green Goblin's bomb, and then you see Otto Octavius's tentacle. That's supposed to draw you in, but at that point, they don't tell you any other situations that happen in the movie at all as to avoid you getting spoiled. Even in a certain scene where some of the villains start coming out and one of the villains gets hit, they go in an effort to make sure to hide how they get hit for the sake of avoiding spoilers. So this is the only trailer I've seen recently that's gone out of its way to openly avoid any type of leaked spoilers.
Yes.
When you literally make a character invisible for the sake of your shot, yeah, it's very clear that you're trying to avoid. You want the experience to happen in the theater exclusively, which it definitely did.
Mm-hmm. And I can agree to that too. It was a fun time.
And even when the fans were kind of already anticipating, because like true fans kind of already anticipated what would happen, but when it happened, that made it just as satisfying as what we wanted, because it came to life.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
and even that description was kind of weird because I didn't see.
Once again, you're trying to kind of work around the loopholes with spoilers and talk. So yeah, and chat, I also want to bring this up as well. Do note that of course, if you guys are gonna watch the film, we're just gonna give a discussion now. So if you wish to kind of be away for a bit, even like ignore chat too, to an extent, you can mute the chat and just leave the stream on B. Come back at roughly maybe 10:50 or 10:55. We'll probably be done around that time. So we'll get into it, and I hope you guys are looking forward to some of the stuff we have to discuss, as well as if you guys in the chat have anything else to add as well. We'll of course definitely do our best to bring it up. So with that being said, let's begin counting down once again to the spoilers from 3, 2, 1, begin. All right, let's straight up say this is Tom Holland's best film. Out of all the Spidey films, this is honestly the definitive best for Tom Holland in the MCU. Out of all the 6 films he's partaken in, this is without a doubt his absolute best performance, best story.
This is the best fucking Spider-Man movie ever. I'm gonna say it.
You even above Spider-Verse? You would put that above Spider-Verse as well.
KG, I'm making a bold statement here, but it comes with 2000. It comes with. This shit starts in 2002. All right.
I can't believe that now canonically you have to watch.
You gotta watch 5 more movies now, idiot.
You gotta watch Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Homecoming, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, Civil War, Far From Home, to then get into this.
Yep.
You have to watch 9 films.
And thanks to the after credit scene, you gotta watch 2 more fucking films
that are side stories. That's right. Venom and Venom Let There Be Carnage. Now, mind you, the second one isn't really that much of a big impact. Well, it depends on how far you're gonna go with it, and especially given that we don't know what the little ooze thing is supposed to do. For the future Spidey
it's called a symbiote.
Yeah, I'm just only calling it that because that's how they called it in the film. They call it like black goo and whatnot. But the point of the matter is, we don't know what's going to happen with that at this current timeline. So that's still a thing for up to debate for the later future. But instead of focusing on what's going to come in the future, let's go focus on what we were given now. And like I stated, to me, in my personal opinion, I really adored Tom Holland's performance. And honestly, I loved how this finale finally gives him the true definitive title as Spider-Man. Like, this entire time that we've been with this boy, it always felt like this was an origin story to lead into his true moment of becoming Spider-Man. From having to accept the realities of being responsible with his things, because of course with great power, there must also come great responsibility. And he having to learn about that, having to suffer through that, having to accept the world that he now inhabits in as being just this lone character now. It really worked. All of it was phenomenal, bro. I love the music in this movie is honestly one of the best.
Oh, they took the fucking Sam Raimi music and put it in the fucking
and even Andrew Garfield's music too. And they worked it in beautiful scenes too. That's my favorite thing. They weren't just simply songs that were just used for nostalgia. They incorporated those elements of the songs beautifully to certain scenes. Can I bring up one right now that I personally adore so much? My favorite, in my opinion, is the conversation that Doc Ock had with Toby. I'm gonna tell you right now that conversation those two had with each other was one of the best things I've been wanting to see for so long, man. I've been wanting to see this wholesome interaction between these two, even if it was just for a little bit. That wholesome moment, man, was just enough for me to feel satisfied, and I felt like I got a proper conclusion to Tobey's Spider-Man universe in a way. I really appreciated like how he came out and says, "Oh my God, look at you! You've grown up. How are you?" And then Peter responds back in the best way possible because he said the exact same thing to him when they first encountered each other and had a chat in the original Spider-Man 2 film as well, which I thought that was such a wonderful tie-in to what was happening then to now in the current timeline. That interaction between those two was great. You can even say to an extent that the conversation that Andrew Garfield had with Electro was also as great too. And also just to give a heads up, because there are 3 of them out there of Spider-Man, we're gonna probably go and refer to them as their actors' names. So Tom, Toby.
Well, yeah. I've been doing that. I've been calling Toby Peter, Tom Peter, and Andrew Peter.
Yeah, just to kind of, let people know which ones we're talking about.
Like when you said Peter, you're like, which Peter? Peter Parker. But that's still the same thing.
Nah, Peter Griffin. That's the one we're obviously talking about.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Exactly. Hey, Peter.
Here comes Peter. Spider-Man. Here comes Peter running up the clothesline, but he's not Peter. He's Spider-Man.
Now, of course, what else was I going to say? Like I said, the music was great. My favorite scene, everybody can agree with this one, though. That moment when those 3 finally worked together and they jumped off the statue to start swinging with each other. But did you see that moment? Did you see that moment when Peter Parker / Spider-Man looked back at the other 2 and shot webs at them to fling them forward? Like, that shit was so amazing. I love that during the big swing moment. Like, he specifically grabbed the 2 of them and flung them forward, and then, of course, shot the web himself to catch up to them. Like, that shit was incredible. And also, my favorite thing about that, I think personally, they did a phenomenal job in capturing the essence of each character. For example, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is very wild card-like, where his movement is very kind of just animated. Like when he jumped, he didn't just simply dive down. No, he did a flip in the air to dive down. And you even heard him scream saying, "Woo!" like how he does in the Amazing Spider-Man films. And what about Tobey's? Well, Tobey's is designed similarly to like how he's just simply the go-to. He's straightforward.
Old-fashioned. Yeah, he's the old-fashioned one.
Yeah, exactly. But he understands that, and they worked with that. And then, of course, Tom is sort of in between all of that. Which I also appreciated as too. It seemed more like Tom was pulling towards the web rather than just swinging with it.
I'm going to jump ahead quite a bit to explain my claim where I said this is the best Spider-Man movie to me.
All right.
That's a bold claim, and I'm basing it off of this.
Okay.
This isn't just Spider-Man No Way Home. That's the title. But this is Spider-Man No Way Home. This is Amazing Spider-Man 3. And this is Spider-Man 4. It's all 3 of those movies at once. We finally get sequels to those, and it feels like such a closure. Like, we're obviously going to talk about that later, but it's so, you can't do this again. You can't replicate this. This is 2002 up to now, 19 years. You can't do this twice. So they literally captured lightning in a bottle, and it's the only time I think is ever gonna work. Like, oh God, you know we're gonna talk about like the Garfield scene. You know which one I'm talking about.
Yes, I know which one you're referring to. That
when he caught MJ, I felt something. I felt complete. Like in that moment, I felt complete. I was like, yes. And I even said it, I screamed. I was like, yes! And then some people were looking around like, what is he doing? And I had to explain, like, no, it's a thing. You
never heard of reacting?
You weren't there, damn it! You weren't there for Gwen Stacy. Yeah, you could definitely tell who was the fan of what and who was like invested and who was an old time fan versus the new time fan. Like, Like I remember Toby Peter was like my best friend and I had a fight and I ended up killing him. And then one of the kids goes Venom, and then I had to look back and like no Harry Osborn. And then I went back and started watching the movie like normal. Like no, he's talking about Harry Osborn. It's a whole different thing. You had to have been there. You had to be there. Damn it! Like I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm basing this off all of like it's see it all come together, and none of it felt forced. I mean, yeah, bringing them there was kind of forced because of the magic spell, but after that, everybody fits butter smooth into the plot. No one feels out of place. It definitely feels like it's such a great use of writing. And you know Sony and fucking Marvel's history when it comes to Spider-Man. They literally almost stopped Spider-Man because they had a fight. So what better way to bring this all together than to have literally all the Spider-Mans during this whole... It's an outside of the movie, behind the curtains issue resolving itself, and we get to reap the rewards of it all. And this is from 2002. Like I'm no Spider-Man can beat this to me. Yes, there are flaws in the movie. No movie is perfect, but the flaws don't outweigh the pros in this one.
Like the pros are so high that it honestly cancels out, I think,
the pros
nitpicks
are way
that you
too
could have with the
powerful this
film.
time around, because the cons are very few, and it's literally, if Peter had just got fucking said something to MJ and Ned after they memories were wiped, then he could have solved all of this in one fucking foul swoop. But then we wouldn't have a fucking movie. So obviously, at this point, it's fine. What we got is better, and the loss that Peter gets as a result makes him a better character anyway. So the ends justifies the mean.
Can I just add this real quick? Yes. I think that was probably the hardest death we got in the series of Spider-Man.
Oh my god! Hot May?
I didn't think that would be the one that'll hit me so hard in the film, because we all knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time, because I feel all Spider-Men have to go through this kind of loss to get to those
but you want to know what the difference is? Aunt May lived through pretty much every Spider-Man movie and non-Spider-Man movie she was in. She was alive in Civil War. She was alive in Homecoming. She was alive so long. Gwen Stacy only lived one movie, and then in the next movie she dies right after.
Yeah. With Aunt May, we saw her grow with Spider-Man.
Yeah. Uncle Ben dies in movie 1 of the Sam Raimi films. We see it. So, unfortunately, like, those are short-lived. Aunt May, we've seen her the whole way through, and obviously the criticism was like, oh, she's young and hot. But eventually you get used to her so well, she literally just becomes a mom for Peter. So when Peter finally loses her, bruh, it's like, it's an obscure example, but remember in History of Trunks when Gohan dies in the rain and turns Super Saiyan?
For the first time?
It's like that, bruh. I'm shook. Like, I'm bawling. This is one of the few times a movie finally got me to, like, cry.
You want to know why it hit me so hard? It was because they showed her getting up, and she's like, come on, let's go. You know, let's get out of here before things get any more worse. And she sounds fine at the beginning. And then she starts to slowly fall down, and then she's like, no, hold on.
Let me go away.
Yeah, and she's like, hold on, let me just get my breath real quick, and then we can continue. And then Tom Holland's performance when that happens was so heartbreaking, man. Especially when you see Happy also come in as well in the scene, and he understands what's happening just from witnessing what he's seeing there from the outside perspective. He's not feeling as much as Peter is in that moment, but he understands what's going on. That's why he's asking Peter to go, to run, to get out, you know, before it's too late, before something happens.
Yeah, and they end up shooting him, but he doesn't care because, like,
the pain of his loss is too much.
It's harder. And I'm just like, she was such an embarrassing mom at some times when she's like the Peter tingle, but that was a mom. She was a mom, so it's just like, oh.
Or
And
like she
remember,
does mom related things. Like remember when she put the suit in the suitcase and all that stuff when he
yeah,
was
oh,
going
when
to
she
the
cleans out the suit, and she's the most useful in this movie.
yes. Oh yeah, the suit cleaning as well because Tom couldn't figure out what the hell to do with that, and yet she somehow miraculously cleaned it
When
up in
she's
one
able to
shot.
run away and hide the goblin serum, and I'm like, bruh, no. It was. I was like, not young May, please.
But it needed to happen, man. And then of course using that to tie into Toby and Andrew and them having their moments to talk about
Yeah, it
their
feels like being
tragedy.
Spider-Man requires one sacrifice.
It's kind of like Doctor Strange's whole like Flashpoint. If you ever seen like how his in I think in What If they had a moment like that where he
Yeah.
lost somebody and he tried to revert it back, but he realizes that if he does that, no matter what he does, he can try to alter time, but the fate is already gonna happen. That character will have to die because that character needs to die for this other character to become truly that hero, you know, for him,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, for this film, for Spider-Man, for Peter Parker. And I want to also add to this as well, given that this is also called Spider-Man No Way Home, I really want to also call it Peter Parker No Way Home. Because this
Yeah.
also felt, and I think you brought it up too, this felt like a Peter Parker film too, for the first
Yes.
time.
For the other films, and I said this before, in the other films, it always felt like it was a Spider-Man movie. Even when they say it, when Peter Parker loses his, when everybody loses their memory about who Peter Parker is, no matter what Peter did, they just defaulted as, oh, Spider-Man did that. No one knows who Spider-Man is, but he did that. And the way the other two movies are set up, yes, you can very much say that because all we know about Spider-Man as a character is that, he kind of takes up the mantle after Iron Man,
Yeah.
which means that, like, he never really had a chance to have an identity of his own because he was always under the shield, no pun intended, of the Avengers. So he never really had a chance to, like, be Peter Parker. This movie fixes all of that by making it go, yo, everybody's gonna forget who you are. And that shit's rough. Because you gotta think back at all the stuff Spider-Man's done throughout these Marvel movies. He's in more movies than movies he's made up to this point.
Yeah. But here's the thing though, Spider-Man's actions will always remain because Spider-Man is not forgotten. Who
Yeah,
is forgotten
Spider-Man's
though
not
is the
forgotten,
one
is Peter
behind,
Parker.
yeah, the Peter Parker.
Yeah, so Peter Parker's allowed to start anew. Peter Parker's starting his life anew. Spider-Man's continuing but he's continuing Spider-Man's legacy.
Yeah.
So now we're in a way, it feels like the suit has become its own, like,
Character.
its own character, and Peter's the one that has to live through it. Which is definitely a lot better because now it addresses that issue. A lot of people had issue with Tom Holland as Spider-Man because they just jumped him into being Spider-Man with no, like, origin story. This
Yeah.
movie literally not only concludes his story, it gives him a new origin story.
And I just like that it does that though.
It's
That's
almost like
my
they
favorite
went
thing.
backwards. Yeah.
But I think this is why I appreciate the other films and the other appearances by Spidey now because it all makes sense. Now we understand why Spider-Man had all these happy-go-lucky moments happen to him before because when we get to this film, because you grew with these characters, you learned about these characters, you interacted with these characters in their films, it's because of that lead up that I think made it pay off to the finale of No Way Home. Because as you stated before, like for example, when Uncle Ben died, I think I have an alert sound. Hold on a second. What happened there?
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of, like, messenger stuff.
Oh, I think it was a host. Thank you, buddy, for that. But yeah, so what I was gonna say is that my thing about it is because we grew and interacted with these characters, the way they have to make them disappear at the end is what hurts the most. Because now it really does seem like we no longer are going to see them now in future Spidey films. There's no more Aunt May. There's no more Happy. There's no more MJ or no more Ned as well because he ended it that way.
Yeah, I mean, like, because he could have honestly went back and tried to like force a friendship and try to get them to remember everything from jump. He literally had the note paper in his hand to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, he looked and was like, "There's no point.
Yeah.
Let them live their lives. Let them be happy. Otherwise, they're gonna wind up being other They're gonna wind up being casualties, and I don't want that to happen. Let me just live my life and live it." And honestly, that's like the hardest to me. That's like the hardest decision he has to make right then and there.
He really
Because
is
remember,
alone at this
this
point.
movie is literally him trying to get into college with them, and now he just has to let them continue on in college without him, which is funny because he wanted that to happen in the beginning of the movie with the superintendent, where he's like, just put them in the college without me. So when he makes
Which,
that
by
hard
the way,
decision,
that's a total Spider-Man / Peter Parker move to do, by the way.
exactly. So he does make the hard decision, but now that he's grown and he's used to making the hard decisions, he can look at them and safely go, "Yes, they will go to MIT. I will be the Peter Parker that lives in the apartment and does the Spider-Man thing and works my own life out." Like throwing away your old life, I can't even imagine how hard that would be.
Yeah, because actually, that makes you wonder. So does that mean he has no social security? Does that mean he has no birth certificate? Does that mean like how far is this gonna go? That's what I really want to know.
Oh, KG, shut up.
And also, if you notice at the finale, by the way, he has to get a GED. That's the thing. There was a book in the finale where they showed him having to get like a new degree because given that he's now gone and erased from this universe, he has to start from scratch. Even though he has all the knowledge in his memories, of course, but that's just part of the sacrifice that Peter Parker himself has to make to move forward as a character. So overall, let's wrap things up real quick. To me personally, despite understanding the flaws that do exist in this film and the nitpicks I might have, as stated before, I think all the pros that this film has provided honestly cancels them all out in a way that makes this feel like the definitive Spider-Man film fans were asking for years, but it now pays off beautifully. It makes everything work. If this had came out sooner, this had been the first film, it would not have worked the way it could have worked. It's because
one
it
of the
took
things
its
I
time.
love the most, KG. One of the things I love the most in movies that movies for some reason nowadays don't have the balls to do. I love bittersweet endings. I love those. It's an ending that's, yes, we solved the conflict,
But at what cost?
what cost? Exactly. These like movies don't fucking ball up and do this anymore. So I love it. I love when a movie can end, and it's the reason why I like pretty much most of the Spider-Man movies anyways, because how do most Spider-Man movies before Tom Holland's usually end? Somebody's
With a
at
swing?
no. But even before that, somebody's at a funeral looking at a tombstone, and then they're wearing like their fall clothes, and they're walking away. And then when they walk away, they pan to like a city shot, and then it shows them swinging across the buildings, and then they come up to the camera and freeze frame, and then we get our credits. That's a Spider-Man movie ending 101.
Yes,
pretty much every
even
movie
the first
does
film that does that.
yeah, the first movie does it when Green Goblin dies. The second movie does it when fucking
Not
Otto
Gwen.
Osborn. Yeah. And then the third movie does it when Harry dies. And then Amazing Spider-Man does it when Gwen's dad dies. Amazing Spider-Man 2 does it when Gwen Stacy herself dies. Every Spider-Man movie ends like that.
But
How does this one end? No. How does this one end though? Aunt May at a funeral, fall clothes, walks off. Spider-Man swings into the thing. It does it. It does the thing. It does the. Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's something that I never noted before. I love that it took that moment to get to it. Like the first film didn't do it. The second film didn't do it. But it was the third film because of the choices that went down in that film that made him become who he is and made that swing one of the most satisfying yet emotional swings for a finale in any of the Spider-Man films in general. I'm talking about from one to now. This was the best payoff to his character that makes me scared.
Pantomime just said Infinity War. Infinity War is in the exception, not the majority.
Yeah, and also theoretically, that's not the full movie because it's part one, as they call it.
Endgame. Yeah, Endgame and Infinity War. Those two are the exception, not the majority.
But once again, they're also part of MCU, so theoretically,
Yeah.
outside of MCU, like, can you name films that really do
There's
that
not
kind
a
of
lot of
bittersweet
movies that really do that anymore. Like back then, it was more prevalent. I want to say in the '90s, and TSS could probably vouch for me. The '80s did it a lot more.
But
Like,
it was nice to see an ending like that again, though.
Yeah.
It really makes you think. Also, one last thing to note before we go and move on into our review for the week. I did note about Peter's final swing, but there was something very odd about it because I noticed that it was taken during Christmas time, of course, which is now confirmed that this is a Christmas film. There you go, ladies and gents.
Also, they played Christmas music when Spider-Man was fighting Doctor Strange in the
Which I thought was hilarious.
in the Mirrorverse.
But I was gonna say, I really, really am interested to see because many people might not know this, but given the interactions between Sony and Marvel, Sony has to give Spidey and Marvel has to give something back. That's normally how the tradition is done, right?
Perfectly balanced,
We lend you
all
a character,
things should
you
be.
lend us a character.
Perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Yo. And I was gonna say, so far we've seen that happen, but so Marvel already gave Doctor Strange for No Way Home, but now Sony needs to lend Spidey back for something else, but we don't know what that something else is. I'm just saying, Hawkeye is taking place during Christmas time. The big finale of the battle is supposed to take place within Rockefeller Center, which guess where the film ends off on? Rockefeller Center. So, could this potentially be a tie-in to Hawkeye's conclusion in season 1? Who's to say? Because, I mean, Matt Murdock also showed up in this film, too. And we do know he's the Daredevil, given that he does a similar stunt.
The movie was really cool. Like, he called one of the bricks and like, how'd you do that? I'm a really good lawyer.
It was the delivery of that line that worked, bro. The delivery of that line was super solid.
I loved hearing the fans cheer for that, too. That was cool.
Yeah, and also, as you mentioned, Panto, Kingpin is in Hawkeye, which is also part of the Daredevil series. So now that we got those two showing up in the exact same week, literally, with Hawkeye and in Spider-Man, who's to say we won't see them in the final episode of Hawkeye, which would mean you need to start watching that series before episode 6 comes out this Wednesday. Will we get that answer or not? Who's to say? But look forward to Hawkeye's season finale. It's looking to be a very, very good one. And I'll honestly say, Tyrone, I think for me personally, Hawkeye is my favorite show so far from the MCU TV
I gotta
series.
get in. I gotta get in there and watch that one.
But yeah, so score, like I stated before, despite my criticisms on it, just because of my viewing experience with it, and I think the best thing about it was the theater reaction. I recorded that theater reaction. I listened to that reaction all the time. The people flipping the hell out when certain characters appear on screen. That shit was just beautiful. So in that aspect alone, I will give this a solid 11 out of 10. This was a film that can only work if you've experienced these films when they came out leading to this. It'll impact you, in my opinion, that much more. Will it still impact you if you were to watch them for the first time this year? Certainly. But I think there is a difference between seeing them then and then seeing them now. You know, if you grew up with Toby, if you grew up with Andrew, if you grew up with Tom, these films tie them all together and you get a conclusion for all of these characters. Even closures to villains too, which I never thought I'd say. But hey, here we are. And also, just want to say right now, it's so hilarious to me that my favorite villain now in the MCU is a Sony villain. Like, they had to pull his ass out from there and be like, time to show you how a straight up villain is done.
I mean, I like that it started with Goblin.
And
it ends with Goblin.
He knows no bounds. He will break goddamn dimensions just to go and do what he wants to do. You know, instead of like saying, oh, I'm somewhat of a scientist myself, it's like, oh, I'm somewhat of a best MCU villain myself, you know? Yeah. I just
and then obviously before we end it off here with the after credit scene showed like Doctor Strange's next Doctor Strange's next movie. I was looking at that trailer and like Wanda
It's a
shows up.
trailer.
Oh yeah, it's literally a trailer. And I hear some of the fans in like the bottom left corner of the theater, and I go, "Oh, there's the WandaVision fans over there." There they are. They're all over there. Thankfully, I watched all of WandaVision, so I don't have to deal with like not knowing that one. So I'm glad I'm getting into that one.
Yeah, so look forward to the Multiverse of Madness around March or April or May. I'm not sure when it was. But the point of the matter is, if you guys are big fans of Doctor Strange, you'll love that trailer a lot because it looks like it's going to be tying in a lot of things. And given that it is another multiverse film, rumors are speculating that certain characters might be making appearances there. But to what extent? That's just something we all will have to wait and see when the film drops later next year. All right, so Tyrone, what's your score overall?
Oh, 11 out of 10. It's perfect. I love
All
it.
right,
I love the movie. I'm sorry. And I'm
Sorry,
saying
no,
that.
embrace that.
No, because it's very rare I give something a perfect. And like
Or
I said,
above perfect.
I have a personal love for Spider-Man. I love every time that someone asked me, "What's your before this one?" They were like, "What's your favorite Spider-Man movie?" It was so hard for me to choose. I love all of the Spider-Man movies. I love how cheesy the Sam Raimi ones are, but how charming they are. I love the Amazing Spider-Man, how Garfield has so many quips and charms with Gwen Stacy. I love Tom Holland's with like how bright and colorful Marvel makes Tom Holland and the funny parts and stuff like that, and how young he was and the development he had with Tony Stark. I liked all of that, but I'm so, like this puts it. It's everything I like about Spider-Man in one.
It celebrates it all.
And not only that, it makes you appreciate the older stuff. This is the job that's supposed to happen when you bring something back. When you bring something back, you don't tease it to death before it shows up. You don't fucking show it off and then it does nothing towards the plot progressively. No, when you bring something back, you bring it back sparingly and don't make that your primary. And then when you bring it back, have the characters like interact and help the character that's current grow so that they don't lose their screen time to the people that are old. And you give closure or enhance what was already made. I can go back to the old Spider-Man movies now and go, this has a conclusion to it now.
Yeah, there's actual closure. We actually got our Sam Raimi 4.
Yeah, Garfield dropping Gwen Stacy eventually gets concluded with the MJ stuff. Like, I don't feel as bad. Like, this is it. Like, it completes everything. Like, and it can't be done twice. Please, I know that Hollywood loves to do this shit where, well, if it worked for one movie, it can work for us too. No. This is the only time. It took 19 years to do this. That's longer than the Marvel Cinematic Universe itself if you want to carve them out. It took them 19 years to make this happen. You can't put in that level of effort ever again. I mean, you can, but it would take 19 years. I'm saying, like, don't try it again. This is it. This is it. Yeah. And I heard that some people are like, Andrew Garfield might be doing some new stuff as Spider-Man. That's to me, that's a poor attempt to try to like recreate Lightning. Yeah, that's a poor attempt. He did it. He caught MJ. That his story arc is done.
Yeah. Because they even imply about like how he went through a dark path and all that, but we don't need to see that. We already feel like he got the closure in this film. Listen, just because they say something doesn't mean we need to experience them. Let the story itself play out.
Let it die in peace. This is fine. Mm-hmm. I'm perfectly fine with this. This was perfect. This was a perfect lock and key, bittersweet crescendo of emotions. Don't fuck with it. Let it just be a treasure. Like, I will buy the Blu-ray of this and I am going to love the Blu-ray so hard. I don't think you understand.
Listen, like, actually no. Here's something I want to bring up. I need something in this goddamn Blu-ray set It has to, because this is the definitive closure for Spider-Man in general for me. Give me a bloopers reel. It has to have a
Oh, of
bloopers
course.
reel.
Oh, you want to know what I also want? I want them to do a Spider. You know how they did that Infinity War collection or that Endgame collection where they had all the
Oh
movies.
my god, yes.
I want a Spidey collection. That way, people who haven't seen the other 5 movies, can watch all of them, and it finally makes sense.
And it can work too, given Sony's, owning all that.
Yeah, I want that. Like, I'm sorry, Kate. I cried not just at the one scene with the Aunt May. I cried at the end because I was so happy, and like, I just, I'm.
No, it's understandable. It was a
It's a
good
perfect.
film.
It
It's
was
a
a
good
perfect
film
movie.
that
As a
can just.
Spider-Man, as a Spider, like, okay, like, so what I have in my room, and no one can really see it unless I pull it up. My dad was a Marvel fan, and he collected a bunch of comics. So how I got into Spider-Man was from the comics, and like looking at the old comics that my dad collected, and then I watched all the movies. This just, it's just perfect. I, I can't. I finally, like, I left there feeling complete. It was just that good of a movie to me.
Mm-hmm. Understandable, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, then. So, overall, as you could tell, we hated the film. Do let
Yeah,
us
fuck
know
that
what you
movie.
think about the film, though. And we'd love to hear your thoughts about it, whether it be
Sorry,
here or.
TSS, we ran too much time.
Yeah, of course. But to be fair, you know what we're going to talk about now. So, I mean, let's cherish this
Yep.
moment. All right. So, but anyway, now in all sincereness, let's go into it now. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning into the Spidey Talk, and hope you guys enjoyed it from the perspective of two big fans of Spidey. But now we got to get ourselves ready and prepared to go and jump into the world of JN. And now, with that out of the way, spoilers out. We said what we needed to say. We hope you guys enjoyed. If you did miss it or want to watch it again, know that the VOD will be available for you guys here on Twitch, and of course, will be opened available for you guys in YouTube at a later point as
Fucking
well.
ninjas chopping onions, man.
Yeah, so let's wipe our tears, let's clear our faces, and let us get ourselves ready to jump back into the world of JN with the latest episode of PM 2019. TSS, are you here and ready to go, buddy?
Yes.
All right,
Let's
let's
go.
get into it then. So, the title for this one, and hopefully I got this thing set up properly. Yes, I do actually. Okay, sweet. Let's go. Titled The Ghost Train Departs. Satoshi and Go have gone to Shoot City Station to catch a train to Lateral Town in the Galar region. But when
Yeah,
they
they killed
board
the whole train.
yeah, I know, right? But when they board a train while running after masked boy that dropped his ticket, Satoshi touches a mysterious stone, thanks to some green-ass monkey, that was left behind in a reserved seat, which turns him into a mean Satoshi. As they move through the cars in search of the masked boy, they discover a lot of Drifloom. Go is cautious, but Satoshi sets the Driflooms loose on Go and explodes with laughter when he sees him run away in fear. Go gets frustrated at how Satoshi calls him a coward and is acting uncharacteristically mean in general, but is also starting to feel suspicious. However, also, this is a really long ass summary. I think they just straight up spoiled the first half of the episode. Just then, the masked boy appears before them, but immediately afterwards, the train is shaken by an impact. It turns out that the Mikuruge, or I think it's the what's the name of that Pokemon? Spiritomb, yes.
Spiritomb.
Thank you. The Spiritomb that had been sealed inside the keystone Satoshi touched has woken up and is going on a rampage, angrily demanding the return of the ill-natured spirit that has entered Satoshi. Will the group be able to return the ill-natured spirit to Spiritomb without any trouble arising, thus returning Satoshi to normal? Lots of ghost-type Pokemon are gathered in the train, not just Drifloom, but also, I'm assuming that's Nikita, I'm assuming that's supposed to be, I just saw the ninjas on the screen, just a bunch of Pokemon. Satoshi's Gengar also appears as well. This is also meant to appear with the introduction towards the gym leader of the Galar's ghost side here with Onion. Yeah, his name is Onion, which I thought is actually very cute. which I think is only a Japanese thing, if I'm correct.
Yes, because it's
Yes.
Alistair in English.
Yeah, Alistair in English.
Damn, we lost a good name in transition.
Well, then again, though, you got to remember that Best Wishes had freaking Dent and Corn and Chili and.
Yeah. So we also
We could have
learned.
called him Shallot. My name is Shallot.
We also received a comment from Chuki Miura, the voice of Onion, which I think is a new VA, and I honestly must say, I actually enjoyed it. So, yeah, let's get right into this week's episode. How did this episode turn out overall? Well, personally, also, no. There is one last thing to note about this episode. Most people might not be familiar with it, but I thought it would be a nice little nod to mention, especially if you guys are big fans of a particular series, given that a film hasn't released at all during this time. Tetsuo Yajima was working as storyboard for this particular episode. Yajima, of course, being the ones responsible for some of the recent AU movies that had dropped, as well as the responsible person for none other than the X and Y/Z series. So, with that being said, now let us get right into tonight's episode. And what did I think about it overall? In my opinion, I actually enjoyed it. I really was shaken aback by how well this episode turned out, in my honest opinion. I actually found a lot of enjoyment from what was shown off in this week's episode. And personally, Onion was a great character. I liked what they did with Ash's character about him being all possessed and whatnot. I thought that was actually very well handled, in my opinion.
He wasn't possessed. That was OG Ash.
That was but like that face though, bro. That fit like when. Okay, here's my favorite thing about this episode: when the lights flicker on and off, and just how they transition seamlessly to Satoshi's regular face to the Spiritomb face on it was so well done. Especially when Ash is walking on like closer to the camera, and it just for a second just transitions into a dark light. And it just shows that, like, very ominous face and all. That shit caught me off guard. Like, I love these moments in this episode. It really, I think, captured the horror theme very nicely with the ghost Pokemon.
The way Ash acts in this episode and the way Go reacts to how Ash acts makes me think back in OG when Ash would just pull pranks on his friends just for the sake of fucking with them. And then I zoom back to here and goes like, why are you being mean? I'm like, oh, you're just being a little bitch. That's what the problem is.
I love that too because like you see Ash is acting all like this, and then of course Go is just making this horrendous pouty face and all that because he's like, what the fuck is going on with you? You never act like that to me.
Because when I watched this, I immediately thought of the episode where, remember when they were trying to go find a ghost Pokemon in Lavender Town? So the minute they go through the forest, Ash ends up finding like this skull mask. And he ends up putting the skull mask on and scaring the shit out of Misty. And Misty gets scared at first, then immediately punches the shit out of Ash right afterwards. I'm like, this is how the OG crew just communicates. Meanwhile, he does some similar shit here, and I'm like, Go, you're just being a punk-ass bitch. That's what the problem is. You're not used to friends that fuck with you.
So, yeah, now, I have to add to that later. I'll bring that up at a later point, but I also must admit that my favorite thing about this episode was just the way they've, like, interacted the ghost Pokemon into the storyline as well. I will admit though, I did hate how the episode initiated because of the stupid green monkey, because he bonked on Satoshi's head, causing the rocks.
Yeah, it's Grookey's fault.
Yeah, it's always the stupid monkey's fault in almost a lot of the plot points about certain episodes in the past, even now with this episode.
Pokemon Journeys, it's Grookey's fault.
Yeah, it's just straight up Grookey's fault. But in this episode, I don't know, it just aggravated even more that it was Grookey's own responsible fault for causing Ash to act all possessed like and whatnot. But like I stated, I like the ghost Pokemon interactions. I thought that was actually really good. Seeing the way the Drifloom appeared, how Ash was just grabbing each one by one, go freaking the fuck out because he heard the Pokedex entry, and then the Pokedex is like, oh, right. One last thing. I completely forgot to mention this, and then just straight up state the other thing that Go wanted to hear. And it was like, wait, I wish I learned this shit sooner. I never realized that the Pokedex could do something like that. Also, another scene I liked as well. This is a stupid scene, but I bursted my ass laughing when the Nincada evolved into Ninjask and Pikachu just shocked them all, and how they flew the hell out of the window as they just like started swarming out the window because they were all dead. That shit had me laughing the way through, man. I love that scene so much. It was just so stupid, but it, in my opinion, just worked so well for that moment. And then here's my weak point about this episode. Actually, no. Let me bring back one last thing I enjoyed. The music in this episode. I think we can easily say the music in this episode was super strong. For
actually, Journey's recently has been doing good with music.
Yeah, especially this one because they did a remix to a pre-existing song in JN, and now makes me really want that volume 2 so much more.
The clip says enticing, suspicious wasabi rickroll.
Cool. Enticing. It's also very suspicious too for some reason.
That actually sounds like that. Like if you imagine going to a sushi bar and they'd be like, "What do you like? Can I have the rickroll, please?"
The wasabi rickrolls.
The wasabi rickroll, yeah.
Yeah, sure. We got those plenty, of course. Then they just give you an iPad and it's just straight up the rickroll song.
Nice.
Exactly. But anyway, I was gonna just say I just liked the music in this episode. I enjoyed how they were incorporated, especially the remix when Gengar was fighting against the Spiritomb. That I think that was the Ash and Go song, but given a new remix to it. I'm pretty sure TS will probably talk about that more in detail when he gets to his side of the review. So I'll save it for him on that part. But I just wanted to bring up that I really enjoyed that. Now here's my weak part about this episode. This is supposed to be a Gengar development sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Because like Gengar kind of just sort of came and left, really. Well, he didn't even leave. It's just more so that he just showed up for a brief moment, sadly. He only showed up at like the last few minutes of this episode, and I wasn't a really big fan of that at all. I wish he had a little bit more of screen time on that, but sadly, it didn't happen. But yeah, so that's just my take on it. I wish Gengar was utilized a little bit more in this episode. But sadly, that didn't happen. So what can we do, correct? But hey, I mean, at least next week's episode looks to shape things up a little bit better for Gengar. We'll probably talk a little bit more about that. But in my opinion, overall, very happy episode all around. Really enjoyed it. The spooky atmosphere, I think, really delivered in this one. I liked Alistair's character a lot. I will admit he does talk a little bit slow here and there, but given that that's kind of his character, I think it worked well. Also, credits to the VA too by making it sound spooky yet very shy like. Like they capture like that tone of like how how ghosts go like ooh in like a very slow approach and all that. And they kind of did that with Alice's character where he's just straight up talking slow, but he sounds very what's the word? Very haunting. And I think that's what they captured very well with that. So if I was to give it a score, I'd probably give it like around a solid 7.5 to an 8. I really did find enjoyment from this episode. And makes me excited to see how the next episode is going to shape things up. But for what we got here right now, this is one of those episodes that I feel paid off very nicely. So yeah. And also, yeah, that weird thing about Gengar going to Alistair, I don't understand where that whole rumor came from. That's just ridiculous in my book, but we'll probably save that for another day. But that's just my take on this episode. So, who wants to go next? TSS or Taron here?
Go. Congratulations, I didn't hate it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, don't now all y'all shut the fuck up because that doesn't mean I love it either.
Oh shit, never mind.
Yeah, I just didn't hate it. It's very rare that we see, like, at least nowadays, we see Pokemon do, like, the creepy thing where, like, the entire episode pretty much takes place at night until they finally get to where they need to go. And I love the idea of a ghost train. It sort of changes up the environment rather than them being, like, normally haunted Pokemon episodes always take place in, like, ooh, they're in a haunted forest, or oh, they're in a haunted house, or oh, they're in another haunted house. XY, what the fuck was your problem? Why'd you do that so many times?
Best wish you did it too.
Yeah. But my point is, that alludes to my point. It's either in a haunted house or in a haunted forest. It's very rare we get a haunted train. That's kind of cool. I like that idea. That's a pretty cool idea. And it's not just any train. It's a train that actually has like a luxury suite. It has like an artifacts area. That's cool. Why can't Ash lift the stone key even though he's lifted things 12 times heavier than that? I don't fucking know. But that's because apparently that it can't be lifted this time because the plot doesn't need it to be lifted this time. But then obviously shit gets a little confusing. I thought that Spiritom's spirit was inside of Ash's, but they need to take a spirit out to put it in Spiritomb? Then what was possessing Ash? Just one of the random spirits that Spiritomb had? Okay, whatever. And then again, I already made this complaint earlier in KG segment. Ghost complaining that Ash is being a dick, and I'm like, Ash has done debatably this level of dickness, if not like maybe worse. I don't know. I'm so, like, to me this is mild compared to the shit that he did in like OG and shit. So I'm just like, I'm very unfazed by Go acting like pussified by some of the tricks that Ash has done. He's messed with his fucking companions several times, mostly Misty and Brock. And then with May, he just sort of embarrassed her or yelled at her at one point, but that's about it. And that goes into the whole Pokemon has been getting genuinely softer as time passed. I want to comment on the Drifloon Pokedex entry because Drifloon's one of those infamous Pokedex Pokemon. Because normally, when people think Drifloon, they think about Drifloon's Pokedex entry, which is the one where it literally fucking kills kids. So it's good to see that Journey's finally, or just Pokemon in general, has finally decided, you know what, fuck it, let's tackle it. Let's finally tackle that whole killing kids shit. So I love that I love when Pokedexes have a second entry after the fact. Just to clarify on some news earlier. Like, for example, in the OG series, I like when Ash did the Pokedex entry on Rattata, and then Ash ended up getting food stolen from his bag, and the Pokedex goes, it also steals food from stupid Pokemon trainers. And he goes, is this thing calling me stupid? Like that. I love shit like that. Where this one's just like, it carries off people into the afterlife and goes like the afterlife. And then the Pokedex is like, sometimes it just carries people around for shits and giggles too. like that's, I love that. That's fun. I like when the Pokedex decides to do some follow-up entries. That's cool. But sadly, after that, I stopped caring. The climax isn't that interesting to me because it happens so quickly. And like, Gengar, is this supposed to be Gengar's fight or Go's? Because Go's takes the lead to fight Spiritomb, and I honestly thought it was cool that Go was taking the lead. But again, look what we had to do in order to get it to happen. Go has to take the lead. Why? Because Ash is possessed by a ghost. Go can't just naturally take the lead without some bullshit getting Ash out of the way. Or if Ash just simply goes, I guess I'll let Go do it. Like, literally, the Kingdra episode, Ash could have very much took charge, but he looked at it and went, I'll let Go do it. Whereas, so again, we wind up in a situation, and even then, when Go's fighting Spiritomb with Absol, Gengar's like, okay, I'm out because Ash called me out, so let me go fix the problem. So even when Ash isn't available to fix the problem, he fixes the problem. And I'm just like, I'm not sure if this episode wanted to be a Go episode or a Gengar episode. It couldn't decide between either. I do like Alistair as Onion as a character, but I wish we had got a little bit more time with Onion specifically. Because by the time Onion shows up with the cast, Onion's doing that dumb thing that most characters do, and I get it, it's because Onion's shy. But he's doing that thing that most shy characters do where they run away from the main characters way too long until they decide, okay, now it's time for me to interact with them. Like, what made you finally interact with them now? I guess because a crisis is happening? But then at that point, you don't even get to show off enough of yourself. I think this would have been a good time for Alistair to fight Spiritomb at that point, just to give us a clue of how strong Alistair is. We don't know how strong Alistair is at any point until what? Probably next episode? That means your introduction is just you sort of curing Ash of his possession. And then after that, you're just, okay, well, that's done. That was a crazy Friday afternoon. All right, peace out. And I'm just like, okay, see ya. Bye. See you in literally next episode. It begs the question, why'd you leave in the first place? This is weird. I don't know. Like, yeah, I like the beginning half, though. The beginning half was actually pretty fun. I wish... the other thing that confused me was the Shedinja thing. I get it. Shedinja evolved by being in an empty Pokeball. But that means Go missed out on catching Nincada and Ninjask. And your goal is to catch every Pokemon. So you just missed out on a Nincada and Ninjask for no reason. Then, oh, okay, I just watched them evolve and I'm not going to sit around and fucking do the damn and catch the other evolutionary lines. Like, it just feels off. Like, he deliberately let 2 Pokemon go so he can catch 1. It would have been fine if he caught, like, Ninjask before it left, and then noticed, wait a minute, why does the Pokedex ding twice? Oh, I have a Shedinja, too! Like, that would have been much better. I mean, yeah, you lose out on Nincada, but at that point, you can have either A, them breed, or B, one of the Nincadas could be left behind or something, and want to travel with Go in particular. I don't know, it just seemed weird. I feel like this is them trying to shove Go's dream of catching every Pokemon in, but then they realized, we got an episode to do, so they jumbled all over the place and it looked messy. Other than that, like I said, I don't absolutely hate it. I like the idea that there's a whole forest inside of a fucking train. I don't even know how that works, but it's funny. But yeah, so the environment, the music, and the ambiance are the best parts of the episode. Sadly, everything else is weird, so I'm giving it a 6.5.
Alright. I do want to bring up something that you mentioned about Alistair's character. I do agree that to an extent. It just felt more like this episode was him understanding ghost-type Pokemon rather than being a ghost-type battler, and that's supposed to be safe.
Oh yeah, but even at that point, then have him have moments with ghost-type Pokemon. He only has one, and it's with Sinistee.
Yeah, he only has that where the interaction where he knows about it, and then the other one was with Spiritomb where he's like, oh, I noticed that it has 5 orbs instead of the usual 6 orbs, and the reason why that's the case is because Satoshi here has the 6th one in possession. Like, he just has the deets, but he doesn't have enough time to actually go further with the details. He just mentions them, you know.
Even if Gengar had put that one spirit back in Spiritomb, there should have been a moment where Spiritomb still rages, like, because that spirit was so used to getting to finally leaving Spiritomb that once it goes back, he's like, no, I don't want to fucking go back. Like, it throws a fit and it causes a mess up between all of them, and Alistair can come in and just talk to it and finally calm them all down. And it's like, oh, you made the ghost Pokemon calm down because you're really good with ghosts. That's cool. But no, Alistair just sort of looks, and then he's like, well, that was a crazy train ride. Peace out, boys.
Alrighty then, so 6.5 you stated, correct?
Yeah, 6.5.
Alrighty then, so now we go and pass this one on to CSS, so take it away, buddy.
Okay, so I am looking at this episode from a train otaku or a rail fan perspective.
I should get that silent image.
Because there's some very weird things that they do in regards to the train in this episode where I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. So let's begin at the beginning. So they arrive in Winden, and the first thing that immediately I get engulfed in is some person literally went to Manhattan and recorded R62A6 train sounds, because the noises that are heard from when they get into the station and also when they're going down the stairs after chasing Onion, they are from an R62A train set from the MTA. Why do you ask? Because I've ridden the R62A for 25 years, and they had the same exact noise, because it sounds like it was either taken either at Brooklyn Bridge City Hall, Grand Central 42nd Street, or 14th Street Union Square, because you hear the train noises as it's going around the curve, and also it makes the exact same squeaking noise that the R62A train sets make. So first of all, that fucking threw me off. It's like, are we supposed to be in Britain or are we supposed to be in Manhattan? So okay, so we have that. Number 2, when Onion drops the ticket, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, car number 1, all right, and tries to figure out, all right, you got to figure out what track it is. So when they chase Onion down to track 0, that reminds me of freaking Harry Potter, track 9 3/4. That's the kind of thing that I see. Also, and then when they get to the train, the outside of the train looks like a British National Rail train, but the interior is kind of weird because the interior, it seems to me like it's a combination of the Narita Express because of the layout of the luggage racks, and the Pokemon with You train that runs up in Tohoku region. Because if you ever seen the interior shots, they're specially themed cars where they have like a whole open play area and stuff like that. But also the second room, the first car that they enter, which is car number 4, the one with Spiritomb in it, actually reminds me of the Evangelion Shinkansen that was on JR West about 4 or 5 years ago. So essentially, they don't know what the fuck they want to. They're trying to convey in terms of portraying the train itself. So, with that being said, let's get to the meat and potatoes. So, first of all, the whole Spiritomb spirit, being absorbed into Satoshi was a really cool concept, and I think that Rika really did a really convincing performance in this episode, especially with Bully and Go. And I will actually disagree with Tyrone here. Her edge was a lot more edgier, a lot meaner than it is in OG, because I know Rika's voice from Kanto, and no, Rika's like kind of inexperienced cocky voice.
I'm basing it off action, which you can't. It's one and the same.
Yeah, but thing is though, I'm comparing Rika from 1997 and Rika from 2021.
I'm not comparing Rika or Veronica. I'm talking about their actions.
I understand, but I'm talking about from the voice perspective because I've watched the entire series with Rika.
Right, I'm just saying you brought my name up, but I'm comparing it based on their actions. So
their actions, yeah, but I'm talking about specifically the vocal performance. So the whole thing with the bullying, I thought it was pretty cool. Also, as Sato Sere actually pointed out on Twitter, it's he kind of makes an offhand reference to when he got possessed in AG. Although in this case, having Satoshi not have Ishizuka's voice, really like shows that she can have this kind of like evil personality, and I think it really showed well in this episode. So now we go through the train cars. We have Rika with the freaking Spiritomb, Satoshi with the Spiritomb face. A lot of the great things actually, as I made a video earlier. If you look on my Twitter, I made a little video because I was immediately reminded of the arpeggio beginning of like Modern Vintage Gamers track Pacific Drive, and you got to look at that on my Twitter, and that's really funny to look at actually if you look at that. But I truly believe that having them do like weird things, like having rock paper scissors and then Satoshi cheating, that was pretty freaking cool. Also, like pushing Go into to lead into like the next car, and then you also have saying like, oh look, a disembodied spirit. Well, and then it sees a freaking like a Sableye, right? The Mega Sableye. And then it's like, oh look, zombies. Like it's the kind of interaction like that where evil Satoshi like is really cool to look at and really cool to. I like the concept.
Crew did. Those are
yeah, but that's not in the same vein. It's not. Eh,
He's pranked Misty a plethora of times.
but it's not. But it's not in the same. It's not in the same realm.
When the man died from a chandelier landing on him, the first thing he does is pick Misty up hundreds of feet off the ground,
Yeah, but
drops her ass, and catches her before she fucking plops to her
yeah,
death.
yeah,
You
but in that,
cannot
yeah,
tell me that's not in the same vein.
it wasn't
He almost
Because
kills
Satoshi,
Misty.
yeah, but Satoshi wasn't in an evil state. That's the whole thing.
But I'm saying the
But
point, the
it's not in
mischievous
the
nature.
same. But it's not in the same. But it's not
Still
in the same.
mischievous.
It's yeah, but it's not. But it's not the same
I
emotion. And
wouldn't
it's
even
not the
say
same
Spiritomb
feeling.
was being evil. I think he was just being a dick. He was just
Yeah,
being a mischievous dick, which is the
yeah.
same thing Ash did.
But it's not. But it's not. It's not necessarily the same. I disagree on that. And I could go into detail, but we don't have. But we don't have 2 hours.
He's being a
So
mischievous child. That's what he's doing. Like he did
yeah,
that before.
yeah, but it's not. But it does not show in the vocal
I'm
performance.
sorry. I'm looking at what's drawn and animated on the screen.
Yes, but I'm comparing Rika from 1997 until now,
I'm comparing
which is what,
artwork that I see physically
yeah.
in front of me.
But the thing is though, episode 22 aired somewhere in the realm of late 1997, and I'm comparing
In
that
my
to
comparison,
2021.
you can mute both episodes and still see it.
Yes, but I'm comparing it as a whole with the vocal performance. So this is why I do the better. That's why I do the more in-depth things when it comes to the vocals.
Yeah.
So let's continue. So go getting the getting the freaking Shedinja was a weird concept, but I could see why, because then they could save the Ninkata for another episode. I feel that they wanted something, spirit like, and Shedinja's kind of like the skin. So I can understand that's probably the reason why they fit it into that. Also, Marina Eichholz with the whole freaking the Dex thing, kind of doing the same thing that Ikuyo Otani would do with the Rockets Rotom phone. That was a pretty cool thing as well. I like that. It's kind of get something a little bit different. So so now when we get to the climax, or one of the climax episode where they bump into Onion. So Satoshi just becomes, starts to turn purple as Spiritomb goes ape shit. So pretty much now we have to have Go pretty much do like a, kind of pleading with Onion to try to see, oh, can you help him out? And that, it's supposed to show Go's character like trying to stand up for Satoshi, because he's impaired obviously right now completely. He's not like he can't snap back into it. It's like he's completely into it now because of the whole freaking spirit taking over him. So it's like, oh, okay, Alistair says, "Oh, let me get spirit, let me get Sinisty, and have him drink the drink, Sinisty's liquid." And it takes time to take effect. And that's why Go had to fend off Spiritomb with Absol. And he was avoiding the shadow balls and stuff. And because of that, and they were buying time so that that eventually when the spirit does escape from Satoshi, because it takes about, 20-30 seconds after, or a minute afterwards, like he was still helpless. So once the spirit escaped, that's how come he was able to get Gengar out and able to control the spirit. Now, the only reason why they did that is, of course, they did that to set up to the next episode. And I thought it was an okay setup, considering that it was featured. Nothing really special. I mean, having Gengar having Gengar perform the moves. That was the Gengar's moves were okay, and stuffing the spirit back in the Spiritomb was pretty cool as well. But they got to the point. Nothing too groundbreaking, but at least they did something. And then when they finally get to the station, it is already daytime again, and then the train just disappears. Like I said, some Harry Potter shit. So, I mean, overall, it wasn't too bad for the first part of this. So in that case, I'm gonna give this an 8.6. The only thing that actually, the real thing that actually brought it down for me was, man, what the fuck were they thinking in terms of trying to replicate the train stuff? That's the thing that actually brought it down for me. Also, weirdly enough, in the closed captions, they actually reference Onion by its name, but in the credits, they just say Kamen no Trainer or Masked Trainer. So Onion's name is not even in the credits.
It's just they're clearly talking about a different character.
It's in the closed captions, but it's not in it. Well, actually, to be honest, it was actually it was the same. It was the same ordeal with the what was it? The let's see, Karina's father. It was the same. It was in the same vein because the name was different. So, and then concluding all of this. So this week's gift in the credits was the Smart Rotom Plus, and if you called the number, you would get a message from Satoshi and Go. So again, and then next week's they don't really give a hint. They say having to do with they don't really give many hints when it comes to the next week's gift, but we will see. Or sorry, this week's gift coming up. But yeah, overall it was pretty good. The only thing that draw it down for me was why were they all over the place in the portrayal of the train? That's pretty much the only thing that drove it down for me. Story was decent. Decent introduction to Onion or Alistair, and Satoshi was pretty good, and Go was pretty good in the episode. So 8.6.
Right. Okay, well there you go, ladies and gents. That is our respective scores for the latest episode of PM 2019. How will next week's episode shape up? Well, we'll have to figure out about that next week, or, well, this Friday as well, when we're going to be doing Reaction Night here on this channel. So look forward to it then. But now let's go and take this opportunity to kind of wrap things up for tonight, at least in discussing what we're going to be all doing for this week, because this is the holiday week, or at least approaching the holiday week. And I think now would be a perfect opportunity for all of us to go and give our respective thoughts and things that we have planned for this upcoming week. So TSS, I will let you gladly go at it first. What you have planned for this week?
Okay, so yes, we are doing Persona 3 Fest on Dub Friday night, part 26.
Christmas Eve. Nice.
Yes, Christmas Eve stream, 9 p.m. Eastern. So we are in the latter half of October. We had just completed the 4th block in Tataris. So, and we pretty much got to ride it out until the next boss. I think we're about less than 2 weeks away in game time to the next boss, to the next the shadow boss. So we will see what happens with that. Saturday we're not going to be doing Akiba's trip. We're going to be doing something else. So I'm going to figure out what we're going to be playing. But that Christmas Day stream will be at 4 p.m. Eastern once again for 3 hours.
Okay. So Tyrone, what do you got planned for this week?
BDSP.
You're concluding it tomorrow, I'm assuming. At least the main storyline, right?
Yeah, it should be, yeah. And then after that, we've got after that on Wednesday, we've got more Sonic 06. On Thursday, we're doing whatever the hell you got planned for us. And then Friday, obviously, TSS stuff is happening. I need to correct myself. I will not be doing a Persona 5 Royal stream the Sunday coming up. It's after Christmas, and there's some things I got to do after Christmas. But right. I will try to make up for that by doing a Persona stream an extra day to make up for that one that I missed.
Okay.
But it won't be after Christmas. Like, I will not be doing one after Christmas. Yeah, and also no Poke Roundtable on Saturday because
Christmas.
That's Christmas, and
It's
go enjoy it. Yeah, spend time with your families. Fucking get off Twitch. Tell your dog you love it. I don't fucking
because
know.
it loves you.
Because it always loves you. Literally, there's nothing you can do to piss it off. Okay, that's a lie. There might be something you can do to piss it off, but but 99% of the time it loves you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty. As for me,
Yeah.
go on, sir.
No, that was it. Yeah. Enjoy Christmas.
Okay. Christmas, yay. Now, this upcoming week, we got shenanigans happening this week. Of course, tomorrow we're going to be having the BDSP dual stream happen with me and Tyrone, so make sure to tune in for that. Following up on Wednesday, honestly, I don't really know what I intend to do for Wednesday. I was thinking maybe do another BDSP thing, but I think I might do a community game night for that night and play around with the friends in the community. We might probably do Jackbox because people were really recommending me to do that with the Discord community. So I might do that for Wednesday night. Thursday, as stated before, we have Minecraft in preparation for that. Now, what exactly are we going to do in Minecraft? We'll have to wait on Thursday. So,
Shit.
yeah, I know. But just note that it's going to be a very nice special, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, alongside that, of course, on Friday it is Christmas Eve, but don't worry, chat, we will still be doing our reaction night to the latest episode of PM 2019. It's not going to be a really long stream, it's just only going to be for the reaction, of course, but I hope you guys are looking forward to it, and hope you guys will be joining me in the festivities. And hey, you can even show it.
I'm gonna end this off by a little bit of time since we're technically over time. I made a status, and this is just to relate to the Christmas shit that I was talking about before. I made a status on Facebook a while ago this morning where I said, describe a Christmas song without saying the title. I'll go first. That one song where grandma gets mutilated by a large mammal. And then someone else commented, that one where the small deer with bright ass nose gets bullied by these bigger bitch ass deers. But then this man who I guess sneaks in houses picks him up and suddenly tells him to help out. So the other bitch ass deers like the small deer. It's crazy, yo. And then one friend goes, that one song where the guy keeps telling me what kind of day to have and like people over 92 don't matter. Then someone else comments that one where the parental figure was caught smooching an old man who likes to break into people's houses and leave handouts. And then there's one where someone says that one Mexican jingle that goes the least knobby dot or some shit. So funny. I'm so happy as to what I created.
That shit is great. Why don't you post that on Twitter.com, man?
I will post that on Twitter.com.
I'm going to copy paste one of the responses there.
That's fucking funny. Oh my god. Yeah, but yeah, so with that being said, I think it's a nice little Christmas joke that you guys can have a nice day with. Okay. Go ahead, Tianis.
All right, so also on the pod next week, I'm going to have my full review of the Poco F3 because, of course, I purchased that during Thanksgiving weekend and want to give my full review since it's about a month. Mm-hmm. So it's like so look forward to that. And then also after Friday, there's not going to be another episode of Pokemon up until the 7th of January. So you're going to take about a week off. No, sorry, I think it was the 14th.
Yeah, I think hold on, let me check. I could check right now for you.
Yeah, because I think it's either the 7th or the 14th. Because I know that. Let me look in the calendar real fast. I
don't see anything for the 7th here. I see for the 14th.
14th, and that means it's the 14th. So we're gonna have 2 weeks off.
I love this. Your name is Francois, something like that.
No, it's Francois. That's
Francois.
No, it's Francois. That's the Magnemite.
That's the first time I've ever seen it.
Francois. Yeah, it's Francois.
No. I mean, that's the first time I've ever seen the word Francois before.
Yeah, Francois.
Really?
Yeah. That's okay.
So the Magnemite's gonna get some love. So hey, look at that.
Yeah,
starting off the New Year strong with a Magnemite episode.
Yeah. So it's gonna be Your Name is Francois, Heracross, Lost, and Carlos in Love, and then Farewell, Wandering Rocket Gang.
Yes.
So that's gonna be the 3 episodes that are in January. And we got a lot of other things to talk about, but we're gonna have a 2-week break. So that means we got to figure out what the hell we're gonna be doing for 2 weeks.
No, that's exactly what I was gonna say as well. So, as you guys know, next week's episode of the PokePod is going to be the last one for 2021 before going into the new year. And I thought it would only be appropriate that we also get ourselves a little break as well. We're ending an episode off in 125. I thought that's a good note to end things on for now. And we will be taking a week off break on the 3rd of January. And we'll be returning back on the 10th for it, just to give everybody some time to relax during the holiday season, even if it's just for one day. I just want everybody to get a good relaxation time for that one. So the PokePod cast will be taking a break that day, but we will still be doing shenanigans throughout that said week. Just for the PokePod, it'll just be the PokePod's day off. But I do once again want to mention that you guys have been super supportive for us throughout the many years we've been at it, and we've achieved such an amazing amount of stuff together as a community, and I cannot thank you all enough for the amazing stuff you have done for all of us here in this call. To the friends that have appeared in our streams throughout this year for the PokePod, it has been an incredible journey, and I hope you guys have continued to enjoy it. So I look forward to interacting with you guys more in the last episode of this year, and of course in more shenanigans for the PokePod in 2022. I'm going to take this opportunity for the two break of the PokePod just so I can get some new layouts and stuff set up for the PokePods next year. So,
and I got some new stuff coming too, so yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to do my best to figure out how that's going to look for the upcoming PokePod session, but I hope you guys look forward to it. It's not going to really be that much of a major impact, but I still believe it'll be enough for you guys to go, ooh. And that's the best thing I want to do. So I still need to figure out how the layout design is going to look like. I have yet to figure out what I want to do for the podcast layout, but hey, we'll see how things shape up for the future. And in the meantime, ladies and gents, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's PokePod session. Normally we tend to kind of go overboard these past couple of weeks, but honestly, just kind of keeping it nice, simple, and short to usual points is honestly...
Nailed it this time.
Yeah, I like that. I can go relax now. At least earlier this time.
And considering that you guys talk like fucking 35 minutes on Marvel and shit.
Yeah, hey, listen, man, Spidey was fun. No spoilers again.
Of course.
But Spidey was...
I know people, I know people, people having freaking emotional breakdowns on this thing, and that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. We watch and experience those emotional breakdowns and break them down, of course, ourselves.
And also freaking taking food in the movie theaters.
Oh, shit. I'll point out, okay, so to give the chat context, I snuck a bunch of food into the theater, but I hid it under a jacket that was in my book bag. And fucking everybody's all like, TS is like, you're gonna get kicked out. And KG's like, you're gonna wind up using the bathroom in the middle of the movie. None of that shit happened. I would like to point that out. So the negativity, I needed to stop.
Hey, at least you have a gallbladder. I don't.
No, see, the reason why I said that instead of you having to get kicked out was because I do that shit all the time too. It's funny, lately, ever since the pandemic started, they've been more cautious over your vaccination card than they care about what you're carrying in your backpack. Exactly. I literally have a backpack behind me, and they never at once checked inside what was in that backpack. I want to
clarify what I had. I don't drink sodas as much anymore, but I still wanted something to drink. So I had 2 bottles of vitamin water, and then I had a slice of pizza. I had a hot dog. I had some pork chips, and I had a fucking and I had the 4-cup Reese's.
Reese's Puff.
No, not Reese's Puffs.
Reese's Cups.
I had 4 Reese's Cups, all right? That's all the snacks that I brought to the goddamn movie, and I ate them all. And and I did that because that only rung me up to about $11 at Quick Trip.
Nice.
I can guarantee you if I bought anything remotely close to that at the fucking theater, it would have rung up to like $25.
So basically almost...
$25.
$20.
$100, man.
That shit would be up to like 70 to 100 plus tax.
$100, yeah.
Yeah, that shit you just mentioned, that was like 8 different things right there.
Yeah, because that's like 7 or 8 different things. If you go to fucking AMC, you buy a popcorn, you buy a soda, that's already $17 fucking dollars.
Exactly. And I was like, hey, fuck that. So I brought my own.
Yeah. Yeah, like $25, like that is super ass cheap though. What kind of theater you go to if it's only $25 and where can I go to see that experience? I will admit though, It was nice that the theater.
Yeah,
I went.
17. Yeah, 17. Yeah, 17. You gotta remember, it's New York City.
Yeah, we're in NYC.
New York City. Yeah, I think your cost of
Well,
living.
I mean, Manhattan
higher.
is worse, but we're talking about like the Bronx. Even Bronx.
Yeah, the
costs
cost of
fucking
living in
$16,
New York, I believe,
$17.
is higher than in Missouri. So.
It costed $20 for the popcorn and the drink over here at the AMC I went to.
Yeah. Makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna mention I really enjoyed that experience there. I went to AMC in particular because that's literally when the tickets first dropped in the AMC app. So I went to that, and I will admit though, it was a wonderful experience. You know what was the biggest surprise for me though? The fucking recliner chairs, bro. That shit with the tabletop as well, so I could put my food on top.
Yeah.
Bro, that was the first time I've ever had an experience like that. Oh god, it was so good.
I mean, they redid the AMC theater near my house, and that's why I like going to AMC because of the recliners.
Dude, the recliner chairs are so comfy. You sink in there, bro. It's so good. And I just loved everything about it. I loved it. I brought my stuff with family and friends, with my little brother and all, and we all had a fun time watching the film. I wish I went to AMC instead because I want Coke. That's it. I mean, listen, man, Coke is indeed the definitive drink. Although I will admit, though, that machine, when you have to, like, push the button to spill out the drink, I just hate how it's, like, 25%. Huh?
Freestyle machine.
Yeah, I just hate how it's like 25% the Coke and 75% whatever the hell that white liquid is, which I think is just water.
That's carbonated. That's carbonation.
Shit, damn.
That's why you press the button. You wait until close to the top, then you wait until the fizz settles, and then you put more.
No, I do that. I'm just saying, it just looks more like as if it's water that they're pouring in there.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like freaking, cheap fast food place problem where it sounds like you're fucking getting your hair cut when you fucking put your cup underneath the fucking fountain. But and then the Pepsi tastes like shit because they forgot to put the freaking syrup.
Oops.
Yeah, I've actually had that happen to me at a fucking Boston market.
Oof.
That was fucking bad.
KG, anyway. You need to go to a CMX 4D. You will never want to go back. 4D is the wave. So what, like if I go watch Spider-Man No Way Home in 4D, I'm going to get hit by a bunch of webs and get electrocuted or some shit like that? Is that what 4D is?
Yeah, that's probably good. Yeah, probably.
Oh shit, I want to experience this too.
If you're lucky, yeah.
I too also want to get zapped by Electro.
I mean, there should be. I think there has to be an IMAX. I know there's an IMAX on 42nd.
Yeah, I need to go rewatch this film multiple times. I even talked to my parents about it. We're planning to go rewatch it again. We're doing gradual rewatches. So originally we just watched it via the digital release, not the IMAX release of Spider-Man No Way Home. So the next time we're going to be watching it now in IMAX. And then probably we're going to step it up even further by going and checking out whatever the next other thing after IMAX is. I think it's RPX or something like that. If I'm correct, I don't really know. I think it's supposed to. No, it's not RPX. RPX, I think, is Regal's thing. So I think it's CMX then at that point or something. You'll feel the effects and stuff. Ah, shit! I really will get electrocuted then. Oh man, but that's a discussion.
You're gonna be on the fucking like Universal Disney World ride at this point.
Indeed, but hey, that's gonna make the experience work. As long as they also have recliner chairs too, I'll love it even more. I'll pay that extra money for it. I deserve it. So I deserve to have a fun time with my family. And if it means paying more for it, I'll gladly do it. KG, weird. I thought you would have seen it in IMAX already knowing you. Nah, see, when the tickets first released, they did have it in IMAX, but I knew that's where people were going to be running to first.
Yeah, like it'd be harder.
Yeah, so I initially went digital instead. And also, since I was buying 3 tickets instead of like 1 ticket, I had to make sure I bought it in bulk. So I went for the digital release first. And me and my family did enjoy it still, despite the screen being a little smaller than your traditional theater screens. I still had a fun time with it. I think the interaction with the community and the reaction they had with screams and stuff was just some of the best. And I really, really feel like I haven't had that kind of experience ever since the events of Endgame, I want to say. Endgame was on a whole nother tier, bro, but it just made that experience so much worth it in the long run. And that's all I can say on that. But for now, I think it's a perfect opportunity for us to go and head off for the night. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's stream, and we'll speak with all of you guys again tomorrow for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So we'll speak with you then. Was it better than Endgame, KG? Only because it came out recently? Hell to the goddamn yes. I'll give me some more time, and I'll figure out exactly my true opinions on it when we get to that point. But until then, though, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed. TSS Tyron, thank you guys so much for tuning in for tonight as
You're
well.
welcome.
Much appreciated as always. We'll see you guys next week for the finale of the PokePod World Podcast. So until then, ladies and gents, we'll see you then. Take care, everybody. And as always, TSS, what's the magic word?
Wash your fucking hands.
Yep. And have yourselves an awesome day. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Normally I would rate somebody at this point, but like, nah. We all tired.
All right, so